What's up, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of The Music Never Stops. This is episode 34 of The Music Never Stops. Hopefully, eventually, I will jump back into moving with life. That one takes a little more time for planning. And these I have a list of songs that I already want to talk about, so it's kind of easier to kind of jump into The Music Never Stops. And either way, 34 episodes versus I think I have over 100, probably over 140 episodes. I think I'm almost to 150 on moving with life. So we'll get there. I will get there eventually. I do have content. I do have ideas. I do have thoughts. But again, right now with the time structure of my day and whatnot, it's easy. It is easier for me to bring some music. Take 10, 15 minutes out of my time so that I can bring you a new song. And hopefully, again, you can add it to your list. Well, not last week. I already mentioned who I was going to bring on for this week is Billie Eilish. I keep wanting to say Bailey. Excuse me. But Billie Eilish. The song is "Happier Than Ever." First time I heard the song, I knew it was going to be a hit. I love the nostalgia and the transition and all of it. So before we jump in, I don't own the rights. I didn't write the song. I'm not claiming for it to be mine. It's a song that I'm bringing to the table because it's a well-written song. It's a well-developed song. It's one of those that it is why I don't only listen to country. Country is my number one. Country is the number one for me, but it is why songs like this help me appreciate just creativity, especially because I think she's relatively young, and the creativity, especially because it's been a while since the song got released, but the creativity behind it is what drew me to it. And I'm going to play it and then we'll talk about it just for a second. I don't have much to say about it other than I want to bring it to the podcast and have it on here. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you haven't heard before, if you have heard before, if you heard it on TV or social media or something cool. So without further ado, "Happier Than Ever" by Billie Eilish. And there you have it. "Happier Than Ever" by Billie Eilish. Such a good song. Again, for me, at the beginning of the song, it gives you that super classic, and she has just this perfectly, soprano voice. High, obviously higher pitch. I don't know where it would fall on the scale. I'm out of loop as far as voice, categories of voices, but nonetheless, still enjoyable to hear. Sounds very classic. She has this, again, her voice, her tone. It's great. It's amazing. It's really good. And again, it's like I said just before I started playing, where she's really young, but her talent is it's very unmatched. It's awesome. I appreciate and I like when people like her, and I mean that as far as talent and whatnot, are able to flourish and show off their talent and actually let the world hear them, let the world hear their voices. It's really, again, it's really awesome to hear. And then it also jumps into the, about halfway through the song, it jumps in, it goes fast, it speeds up time, but then the guitars start coming in, the bass, an actual bass guitar comes in, or maybe it's a synth. Either way, it doesn't matter. And if you hear the distortion on the guitar, that was really unique, and it reminded me because there's a time where I don't know if it's the Keith Richards, it might be the Keith Richards doc that. I don't know if it's on Netflix or not, but I think it was at one point, and I watched it. And the way they used to record distorted guitars, because you don't have many guitar pedals back in the day, back when they were young, there were pedals, but they weren't many. Is they would record into a cassette player, a microphone into a cassette player, and then they would record that into the actual the final audio. And the way the guitars sound is for me, it's very much like that. It sounds like it's recorded into a little cassette player or some type of smaller recording device where the microphone or the feedback is too much for it. So you hear all that crunch, all that grunge sound. That's what it reminded me of. Again, going back to create, whether it was Billie Eilish thinking of that idea or the musicians. I've met some awesome musicians, especially back, going back to 2016, 2017, back in Nashville. Going to Nashville to see a record be made, and the creativity and the ability that these musicians have, especially with, I feel like it's always been, but today with technology and the way you can literally manipulate sound on the computer, it's awesome to hear. It's awesome to hear those things, because it's like I would have never, not that I couldn't, but I would have never thought of doing that. You know, again, it goes back to the premise of, I think, of this episode is it's like talent exists, and here's some talent that is unmatched, in my opinion, in its own, you know, its own category maybe, but nonetheless, it's still a great piece of art. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have never heard it, you know, hopefully you made it through. It is a little lengthy. You know, it's literally 4 minutes 58 seconds. So yes, I understand the length, but this is one of those songs that there probably is a radio edit, but you know, getting to hear the full version is pretty awesome. And so yeah, I think that's all I got. I'm gonna run out of time here on my camera, so I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next week. Fingers crossed. And until then, we'll see y'all very, very soon.